Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1993 and into our activists' hearts and minds decades before and after. Please welcome Gloria Steinem to the stage, who will introduce Guthy-Jackson. Ms. Steinem.
The woman you are about to see here today is the brilliant, innovative, worldwide entrepreneur, organizer who has taken the life-changing shock of her daughter's diagnosis more than a decade ago with NMO, a rare neurological disease that threatens the eyes and the spinal cord and therefore life itself, and created a foundation that has caused medical researchers in this country and on other continents to cooperate with each other as never before. The pharmaceutical industry to share knowledge instead of pursuing secretive and profitable patents, has organized 9 global conferences of patients and researchers, one each year. She has brought thousands of patients from around the world together to learn that they are not alone, as well as their families and their caregivers, whose lives are also dedicated to their survival. She has created a worldwide blood bank for research and opened the door to community and cure for sufferers, who have turned out to be not so rare after all. I can testify to the power and humanity of her genius at organizing right now, having just seen a film of her 2nd annual conference on and for the continent of Africa, this one in Mali, where hundreds of patients gathered. It is a country with 15 neurologists for 17 million people. So you can imagine how it feels to know you are alone, even when you are a medical expert, much less a patient, and to discover you have company and you have worldwide support. It is, all of this has been made possible by the Jackson Guthy Foundation with the support of her husband, Bill Guthy, who's here today, and the support and courage of her daughter, Allie, who's just entering law school. How's that for a victory? And also with her today is Jackson Guthy, a very talented songwriter, performer, a star, a rock star, who started very young, like in his teens. So one of her great accomplishments was that she's been in every city in the United States as a stage mother, going around. But I want to remind you of what you don't see when you look at her today. She was once a teenage girl in Los Angeles who was assaulted sexually by one of California's most brutal serial rapists and lost the ability to graduate from high school when she should have, while her sister, her younger sister, was able to use their single mother's slender resources to go to college and to medical school. She was a young woman who later became a single mother herself, taking her son with her as she became a standalone entrepreneur, developing makeup for Hollywood actresses that would become miraculously the first brand ever sold on television, and after long and hard work, a huge financial success. All this plus marriage and motherhood of the 2 great folks here today, and all this plus spending years serving women in prison as a volunteer, visiting so that they would have the self-confidence and self-esteem that comes from taking care of oneself, and from makeup too. And also creating homes for her family, beautiful homes. And you know, this could give her yet another career as an interior designer and an architect. I just want to say that the homes They are fan-fucking-tastic. I just want... They're so beautiful. She's like magic. I can imagine her arriving in a hotel room, throwing a scarf, and everything has changed. And she continues to work and to give her home and homes for good causes, from political candidates, environmental causes, women's rights, the rights of the vast population of incarcerated Americans, and much more. More than any other human being I have ever met or read about, Guthy-Jackson is living proof of 3 of the truths of life. 1, we cannot control what happens to us, but we can use what happens to us. The final stage of healing is using what happened to us to help other people. And 3, kindness is the most important quality on earth. She does it all, and every day and every minute, with kindness. I am so honored to be the person who inducts Victoria. It says, I think, on the medal, for your rare and inspirational activism on behalf of women's health and entrepreneurship, and your transformative work in medical research, Guthy-Jackson, you are now inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame.
Oh, boy, okay. So, thank you, Beyond. You know, yeah, you're second person, and she's a crier. I woke up this morning, and I thought about preparing for today, and then I thought, you know what? There's so much in my heart, so much I want to say, but in life, I've pretty much never really prepared. I've just kind of thrown myself in the deep end. And, but then I said to myself, because I have some amazing friends that said, you know what, Victoria, you have been in survival mode your whole life. You never seem to just stop. And then an interesting thing happened as I was getting dressed. My watch fell off the sink and dropped, and it broke. Like time stopped. And I thought, okay, you know, today's about taking a moment and stopping. And I think about so much of in the past, what are things people have said? When have you failed? You know, tell me about some of your failures. And I thought about, it's really been when I've stopped, when I've held myself back. And we all can get in the way of that. It's sort of extraordinary for me standing here now as a woman who has struggled with low self-esteem, depression, panic disorder, anxiety, and it's held me back from a lot, including an extraordinary visit I would have had this year with the Pope, who asked me to go to the Vatican and speak. But I'm here. And and I wouldn't be anywhere else, and I wouldn't be here today, which is sort of bittersweet as well, if it wasn't part of the fact that 10 years ago my daughter was given 4 years to live. And I'd been in the business of selling cosmetics, makeup artist who was going to create their own line, did 13 years of infomercials, created 600 products, and had many, many, many setbacks along that long story. But then, all of a sudden, I had to close that book on mascara and open the book on medicine and figure out, how am I going to cure a disease? Because I am not There's nobody friggin' going down. I'm not losing my daughter on my watch. I mean, I make lip gloss, right? I should be able to transition into curing a disease. I didn't go to high school. I didn't graduate college. All right, I'm going to figure this out. But what I do have and what I do know is I believe in people and the humanity in people and the willingness that people want to ultimately do the right thing. All of you in this room want to do the right thing. The women on this stage that I am so proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with all want to do the right thing and have done it. And they're here today. And it's just, if you just bring that back, as I did, trying to bring together 22 countries and 23 African nations and people all over this world to think about how we look at disease, how we look at cure, how we look at humanity, how when we all stand together, shoulder to shoulder, we can really make a difference. And it has been extraordinary, the people that I have come across, from patients, clinicians, therapists, everybody involved in the circle, and it is a circle, that have really been instrumental in me standing here today. I am so proud, and I am so humbled and so honored, and I thank every single one of you for showing up today, and for every young woman out there. Listen to your voice. Be resilient. Persevere. You can do anything you want. It was just, I think it was 10 years ago that my phone rang, and they said, it's Gloria Steinem on line 1. And here I am today. And to Gloria, thank you so much. This moment will echo in my being forever, my family, my children. It's extraordinary, and I thank you all so much. Thank you.